Do you want to have your opponents looking clueless like these morons on your screen in Madden 26? Well, you're in luck, because in this video, I'm showing you a pro scheme that even Matt Patricia used to lock down Arch Manning in Texas week 1, and it's brand new to Madden 26. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so we're going to talk about 4 different concepts here in this video, and the last one is the best, so make sure you don't miss it. But first, we're going to be talking about the Coffin delay, is what I like to call it. Let me show you. Alright, so like I mentioned earlier, this is something that Matt Patricia in Ohio State did a lot of week 1 against Ohio State, and it was against Texas, and it was very successful for them here. So you're going to come into a 4-3 Tite Leo Dolphins playbook here. You want to make sure you call a play like this Tampa 2 right here, where I have all 5 of my defensive linemen rushing. Okay, I'm going to come right here into this player Dotson. I want to stand right over this guard, and this is the Coffin delay. So all we're going to do is we're going to put this defensive lineman right here in a quarterback spot. And we're going to stand right here, right over this offensive lineman. Then we're going to press the D-pad up so that we can basically use our lock. And so now we're just going to be running backwards here, right? So we're just going to be holding our left stick right here up, right? All right, so all you're going to see, the offense is going to take the snap, and now I'm going to send my spy. And you can see how he's going to come in free, or someone else is going to come in free. You want to make sure, though, that you're pressing this stick as soon as the ball is snapped, or as soon as you possibly can, okay? Because you can see how if I just pressed it earlier, you can see how this is going to work. 75 turns inside to double team, but if I just go ahead and send my spy, now he gets a free rusher. Or we have a free rusher coming in free. So it's all about the timing of it, okay? And maybe you don't even need to stand all the way right here. You can honestly probably just stand all the way back here, take the snap, send your spy, and boom. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Coffin delay. It's very easy, it's very simple. It just kind of makes sense. You're waiting for the offensive line to be distracted here with a double team, because that's what these offensive linemen want to do. You understand that these guys, they want to turn inside. They want to find work. They want to double team. So you just wait for them to go find that work. You wait for them to double team, and then you send your guy. Now, you're obviously going to have a good user over the middle of the field. You don't need to comment that Terry McLaurin was wide open. We know, okay? just have to have a better user showing you a blitz, right? So boom, we get him on the ground. This is a simple 5-man rush against just a 5-man protection. But honestly, it really doesn't matter, because even if they go ahead and block their running back, it's going to be the same thing. Put this guy in a quarterback spy, pass commit our defense. We're going to stand right about here, okay? And so offense goes to take the snap. Now we send our spy, and that time another guy came in free. Now, it's not going to, no blitz is going to be every single time. Sometimes the offensive line does a better job. Other times because of just the way they're set up. But you're still able to see, we still get a guy to come in free here. You do see that, and that's because I have a good user right here. Boom, swoop, engage with the center, but we still get a guy to come in free off the edge, and so he just destroys the running back, and boom. Now, you can see Coffin delay wasn't really needed here, but on the last play it was. So again, the last time I'll show this here with the Coffin delay, all we're going to do, put that defensive lineman in a spy, pass commit our defense, and you can do really whatever you want with the rest of this play here, but you're just trying to stand a little bit over this guard here, loop, send your spy, and there it is. But he is close. He is close to getting the timing. Wasn't exactly perfect there. I could have sent him a little bit earlier and probably got some more pressure. Having a really fast guy here is going to help, but you can see the windows here. Great job. Great play here by 75 down to see this, because he was in the middle of a double team, and then he just picked him up. But I just need my guy to come in faster. If you send the spy earlier, obviously it would be better for you, and then taking away the rest of the routes on the play. But a really simple blitz there that you can honestly do out of a lot of different formations, but it's actually really good from this 4-3 Tite Leo. Alright, so next I'm going to show you how you can get your linebacker to come flying in free every single time, just like this. Alright, so all you're going to do here with this is shift your defensive line to the right if you want to blitz off the right, which is what I would recommend doing. Alright, to sort of shift your defensive line right, you're going to press left on the D-pad, then you're going to press right on the left stick, so you can see right. Boom. And so the defensive line shifted to the right, and now you want to blitz your inside linebacker. So you're going to press D-pad right, then you're going to press D-pad right again, and you're gonna press A. Right, now you're gonna blitz this guy. So now you can see. Now you don't actually have to blitz 6 people to do this. If you want to, you can spy off this linebacker. You can put him in a vert hook. This is actually, you know, a pretty good adjustment here that I would use. But the key thing is getting the attention of this center and turning him out to the left. You're blitzing off the right, you want the center to be turned out to the left. So you're gonna see they're gonna go ahead and send 5 out right here. I'm gonna take this, turn this guy out to the left, and boom, now you have a guy coming in off the edge. Now, I did say you're trying to get the middle linebacker to come in free. So, I mean, that still applies, but sometimes the offensive line in this game, they'll randomly choose who to block, especially when, you know, they have so many guys coming in free that they just pick and choose randomly sometimes. So sometimes it might not be the exact guy that you wanted, but who really cares? One guy came in free, and honestly, the guy on the edge coming in free is probably faster than the middle linebacker for sure, since he's closer to the quarterback. So boom, set it up the same way that I just showed. Shift that D-line right, blitz that inside linebacker, and pass him in your defense by pressing RB and then flicking the right stick up. So it's gonna look something like this. And so now you can see it, boom, once again, same guy, same thing happens. Guy comes in free off the edge just because you're just basically overload blitzing them. Just exactly what we talk about all the time on Victory Formation GG. Me and Swole, overload blitzes, overload blitzes, overload blitzes. That's the name of the game right now in Madden 26. That is the meta. That is how you can get pressure very easily here in this game, okay? So that's how we're going to basically get pressure on the quarterback, right? But let's see, if they go ahead and block their running back here, it's nothing's going to change because we showed it earlier. When you get running backs in one-on-one situations against offensive linemen, against defensive linemen, they have no chance. They're too small. Boom, take it, running back's blocking, and now you're able to see quick pressure. That time running back actually didn't do a terrible job of holding his own. So we can go through it one more time. You can also just, obviously, if you wanted to just all out blitz, do this where you're sending 6. You put 2 hard flats in the field, you walk your safeties down, and you try to have a good user over the middle of the field. Like, this is fine. This can work, especially when they go ahead and block that running back, because now you're blitzing the same amount that they're blocking, but you're engaging. And so now you see guy comes in free, 2 guys coming free right there. It's very easy, very easy. But I know a lot of people don't like to blitz. It does make you more vulnerable, but the good thing is it doesn't really matter. You don't have to blitz. That's just kind of what I'm telling you here. You can walk these safeties down. You can man up. You know, I would put an actual linebacker out here, not Bradley Chubb. You can try to man up one of their guys, but really, this is just a blitz. And so when we pass commit, like I showed you, they block their running back here. You try to engage, boom, come over, and now you're able to see a guy comes in free. Sometimes chipping does occur in this game, and it's pretty annoying. Just random chipping that will occur. So boom, you can just see where, I mean, it affects them too, but this guy should have just walked in free, but it's still instant pressure. And we're blitzing one less than they're blocking. So that's what I'd like to just call the shifty line, and you're able to get a linebacker or a defensive lineman, whoever it is, to come in free just with that simple setup. All right, so if you like those first 2 setups, they don't even compare to the next 2 defenses I'm gonna show you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and stick around for the rest of the video. All right, so next we're gonna be talking about just match coverage, how you can use match coverage to lock down your opponents here in Madden 26 out of the 4-3 Tite Leo. All right, so we're gonna come right here, cover 6, you see it, okay? So really the main thing here with this is you wanna make sure you have your safeties up and close width on pinch here, and you have all 3 of these zone drops on default, okay? That's pretty much the adjustment. Defensive motion response disabled, and we're going to come into cover 6 right here now. I mean, it's going to depend a lot on the formations they're calling, how you kind of want to set this up, okay? So you have to understand what cover 6 means. Cover 6 is cover 4 on the left side, okay? Split the screen in half, please, Mr. Editor. We're in cover 4 on the left side, and then we're in cover 2 on the right, the side that my user's on. Cover 2 match on one side, cover 4 match on the other. And so here's the thing, you have a defensive lineman in your zone. So that's a little bit of a challenge here out of this defense, but match coverage still going to be very useful here for you, because you're gonna see if they go ahead and just try to call a flood concept here in the middle of the field with a corner route, right? You're just gonna see what's gonna happen, okay? Boom, take it. I'm gonna user this drag here, and I mean, you tell me, but I don't see anyone open on that play. Our mid-read defender is going to do a great job of taking away those routes over the middle of the field here. For example, like this one to Terry McLaurin, this angle route, he's drifting, and honestly, a lot of people would throw this, not thinking that this guy is really in position, but you can see last second, he just continues to run with it and does a great job of taking it away. You can also see our deep zones are going to do a great job of communicating on this cover 4 side and taking away this corner route. A lot of people would throw this thinking that this is a cover 3 defense and they could just attack on the short side with the corner route, but no, we're sitting perfectly on it. People ask me all the time, BLT, how do we go about stopping corner routes? This is exactly the way that you actually want to end up doing it, by simply just waiting on this corner out and calling a cover 4 match on one side or cover 6 here. And then you can also see having good users still important, because you do want to take away this drag right here and completely shut it down, because then you can see it gets passed off to the route over there, and then the swing route is guarded by the soft squad. So match coverage, great. It's also fantastic, like I talked about, as stopping those crossing routes. Let's see, boom, deep cross, shriek, return route, whatever. Like, this is a meta concept that a lot of people want to use, but you're going to see it's going to be guarded very well. Now, you can obviously always try to have a good swish stick here to help take this away, but boom, you see that's going to be guarded and that's going to be guarded. So really, honestly, all I really had to do was probably just guard that swing route as the backfield, because our guys did a good job of taking away that crosser. At least initially, honestly, I thought that they were just going to guard this a lot better than they actually did, because he just kept running and he just stopped guarding it, which, you know, normally doesn't happen. But if that's the case, that's why switch stick is so important. And it's also just important to understand the rules of the coverage too, because if you know that that's going to happen, then it makes it a lot easier for you to switch stick here. So boom, set it up same way, try to get a good engage, boom, they set it up, and now I'm here instead. And so now, because of my really good switch stick, I'm able to just totally sit on their routes and totally take them away. And everyone else really does a great job on this play. Return routes are a very annoying route in this game to stop, but you can see our match coverage here with our quarter flat and our mid-read defender right here is going to do a great job of just sitting on that. Return routes are so annoying to stop when you're running zone coverage. And now you can just see they're guarded. And then the shriek's guarded in the middle by this deep half. They can't throw that ball, will be in the air for too long. And then you can see my soft squat, I switched it onto it, and now that's guarded. And you can just come down and do whatever else after that with your user to help take that away. So hopefully you're just able to see how good match coverage is. You can also see, let's see, right here, they're going to just have a deep post concept here with some more mesh action. So boom, take the snap, try to have a good user, boom, and then you're able to come down, and if I have better user, I'm actually able to take that Y route away, trying to switch stick. This is a high risk, high reward defense, okay? Just put it very transparent here for you guys, okay? You can see this is good defense until I switch stick. 25, I'm coming up to guard this dig, and then I switch stick off and kind of just mess up the whole play. You can see everyone else, the computer did a great job of just guarding everyone else with their match coverage here, but then it's really just my user's fault that this play has an opening if they want to take it. So again, match coverage, not the simplest defense for you to run. A lot of this other stuff that I'm showing in this video is good blitzes, good coverages, very simple stuff. Match a little bit more high level, a little bit more adjustments that go into it, but when you really start to understand the concepts, it becomes a lot easier. All right, so like I promised y'all boys, we're going to be talking about the last thing in this video, what I call the green dog loop, okay? I love this blitz, and you're gonna love it too. All right, so you wanna come to this play field blitz 3 from 4-3 Tite Leo, okay? And so really, basically what you're going to do is you can just call it however you want to call the play, okay? All you need to do is shift your defensive line to the right. And basically what's gonna happen is these guys are gonna basically shift positions, and now this linebacker is gonna be looping all the way around the offensive line to try to go get the quarterback, okay? Now, you want to man your outside linebacker, this guy, you wanna man him up onto the running back right here, okay? Or you can man him up onto the tight end. I would probably even man him up on the tight end just to be safer, since you only have one defender on this side in this specific version. But again, all we're trying to do is stand right here over this center and loop him to the right this time. So again, outside, away from where we're actually blitzing the pass commit your defense, you know, as always here. And so boom, we're gonna take this snap and you're gonna see, boom, guys able to come in free, bring the quarterback down. You have to still have a good user over the middle of the field. You understand that, you know, there's no flat on this side, so you have to guard out there. You can see the running back's gonna run out there. You gotta follow him out there. If you want to run this specific shell behind the blitz, you can certainly change up the coverage that you have behind the blitz. But you're able to see, boom, right here. I mean, we get a looper, and then we're able to get a guy to come in free. And that really isn't even the best version of the blitz. So boom, shift it right again. It's gonna look something like that once again. Now you can hard flat, you can shade down, and then try to get this linebacker to run out there to guard the hard flat on the other side of the field. You could do that if that's what you wanted. Then you'll actually have a flat out there, but then you're a little bit more susceptible to like giving up the seam. So then you have to actually guard it with your user. And now you're just starting to see how a lot of pressure is coming into this backfield very quickly, you know, for the offense. They don't really have a whole lot of room here. That time I didn't even get a good engage turning him outside. He actually ended up blocking someone before I could even do it. So again, we're just gonna continue to practice this here over and over again. You know, shade down right here and about right here over this guard. This time they'll actually go ahead and block their running back. And so boom, take it, get him to engage, and then boom, that's what I'm talking about, the loop, man. That's all it is, okay? So he's just gonna loop around the offensive line. Beautiful, boom, perfect. Pass commit works perfectly, and we're double looping here, okay? Very, very easy. Very, very easy setup. You can see they blocked their running back. We look at the replay again. They blocked their running back. Their running back has to step up to block this guy who comes in free. Another loop, but then another looper is coming in behind him. So really the key thing here is that just weird loop around the offensive line. It's almost like a custom stunt, but you're still able to just get pressure here in the backfield. So again, stand, same position, boom, trying to jump out here to the seam, and you're able to see double loop right there, and we're able to get pressure on the quarterback. Here's the thing, either one of your defensive linemen are gonna shed, or one of these loopers, you have one loop, okay? You have one loop from the linebacker, and you have another loop coming around from another guy, this guy's coming in free, because this time he loops all the way around the offensive line. So it's really like a little delayed blitz, because you let these three guys go crazy, you're looping still, boom, but then normally it's just a single loop. Well, now you have a double loop. And so now this left tackle really can't win because we're running two guys around him and only a 5-man blitz against a 6-man protection. So really going to be very problematic for them, because then you're also able to play really good coverage everywhere else. So start using this double loop to really get after the quarterback here from the 4-3 Tite Leo. All right, so that's going to do it for this 4-3 Tite Leo breakdown. A lot of great stuff, a lot of great concepts, real life concepts, Madden concepts, all tied together to make a great defensive scheme. But I want to help you transform your defense personally, okay? I just help this player, and this player transform their defenses in Madden 26, and I can make you next. Click here for more information on my one-on-one coaching platform, and I'll see you on the next video.